like not having a game plan, and then all of a sudden you're kind of freaking out, because I have done that.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of the Diary of a Wellness Bodybuilder. I'm IFBB Wellness Pro Bodybuilder, and today I'll be sharing with you my tips on time management while prepping for a bodybuilding show. I know when we're on prep, it feels like time is going by really fast or really slow, depending on how hungry you are and what your energy level is like. And it's really easy to get overwhelmed, to feel stressed. So these are some of the things that I personally do, and some of the tricks that I have picked up over the years as a competitive bodybuilder that helps me manage my time better. The very first thing I would say is make a list of all the things you need to do specific to your competition prep. What I mean by that is, like, you have to sign up for the federation, you have to sign up for the show, you have to order your bikini, your heels, your jewelry, book hair and makeup and tanning, things like that. Make a list of that. And the next thing we're going to do is pick how many weeks out you are going to sign up for those things. That way, you don't have to rush all the way at the end to take care of all those things, and this would help you manage your stress level. For example, I know that typically a competition bikini, if I don't get it made in a rush order, it takes somewhere between like 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm not going to wait when I'm 8 weeks out to order my bikini in case something goes wrong and it takes longer, because then it's going to add additional stress to my life. And when you're on prep, you want to keep your stress level as low as possible, because it's going to affect your muscle retention, your fat loss, and all those things. So what I would recommend is, when it comes to ordering your bikini or your heels and things like that, order it when you're like 12 weeks out or 10 weeks out. Now, that does put us into like other questions about like how much weight you're going to drop and things like that. So for that, communicate with your coach. That way your coach can give you kind of like an estimate of how much weight you may be losing. Another thing I would say is, after you have your list and after you have kind of like decided like, okay, when I am 16 weeks out, I'm going to take care of this, this, and this. When I am 12 weeks out, I'm going to take care of this, this, and this. What you want to do is, for me personally, I am an old school person. I like to have like actual physical calendar. If that's not your thing, you can just use your phone calendar, and you want to set up like what you're going to do for a specific week. So you're going to break it down. Okay, the first week of May, I am going to, I don't know, book the hotel where I'm going to stay. The third week of May is when I'm going to buy my flight so that I can travel to the place. So you want to break it down even further. Now, let's say the first week of May comes. What you want to do is, you're going to look at your monthly to-do list, and then you're going to look at your weekly to-do list, and you're going to break it down even further. Like, okay, Monday, I'm going to train legs. Wednesday, I'm going to train legs. So those 2 days, I know my energy level is going to be a little bit less. So those days, I am not going to do X, Y, and Z, something that requires me to use my brain a lot. Maybe I would leave doing something else for other days. So you want to kind of break it down as the week starts. Like, I personally like to leave, I don't know, like sometimes 15, 20, even 30 minutes on Sunday to go over things that I need to take care of for the upcoming week. Now, when you wake up the morning, of Monday, you're still going to look and you're going to have a list of what you need to get done for that day. And as your brain starts kind of like not working properly because you're in low food and you barely have any carbs, it's going to be a lot easier to check it off as the day goes by and keep adjusting things according to priority versus like not having a game plan, and then all of a sudden you're kind of freaking out, because I have done that. Another thing that I like to do is when it comes to the day-to-day task that I have picked out that I need to do for that day, I like to prioritize the things that are related to my bodybuilding. Or you can also like write down the things in the order they need to be done. For example, the days that I need to do check-ins for myself, currently it's 3 days a week because I'm in prep for my pro debut. I'm about like 4 weeks out. I am checking in with my coach on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So those days when I wake up, I already know that's like my priority. So I'm going to take care of that first, and then I'm going to do my stomach vacuums, and then I'm going to do my fasted cardio. So I like to write it down in that order. But sometimes like not everybody has the luxury of doing that. If you have children at home, things can kind of like need your attention before you can maybe take your check-in pictures, or maybe one day you need to go into work earlier. So those things are going to happen. And if that happens, what you need to do is you need to kind of be flexible without completely freaking out. Like, I'm a type A person, so I know what it's like sometimes when we can't give 110% to this specific goal. It may feel like, oh my God, like I'm a loser. But don't look at it that way. Even though we have a plan of tackling everything 110%, life happens. And some days you may not be able to. Some days, maybe some of the things need to be put aside. Like, for example, my priority is always what I need to do for my bodybuilding prep and my family and my athletes, my clients that I have on my team. Anything related to like social media, that, believe it or not, comes last, because that is something I am choosing to do. That is not an obligation. So sometimes that takes a back burner. Or sometimes if I do have a lot of things that needs to be done, but I'm feeling completely burnt out, I would take some time out and I'm like, you know what? I did the best I could for this day, and every day 100% is not going to look the same as your energy level drops. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying take it easy and just like bullshit. I'm not telling you to do that. But that's why you need to have that kind of like self-awareness and know when it's time for you to take like a chill pill and just go for a walk, clear your mind, or go to bed early, versus when it's time for you to like push through. When it comes to training in the gym, when it comes to eating all my meals, getting all my steps done, doing the cardio, there is no like taking a chill pill. But when it comes to other things, I may kind of like take a step back depending on what I need to do. Now, that takes me to the next point, which is for time management, the things you may have been able to do in the past while you're bulking and you're eating like 2,000-3,000 calories, you may not be able to show up that same way for your family, for your friends, for your work, or whatever other obligations you may have, because we're adults and we have responsibilities. So you need to know when you need to ask for help. You need to know when you can delegate and what you can delegate to others or outsource, so that you can manage your time and your energy a little bit better. Give yourself that compassion, give yourself that time. For instance, like my fiance and I, we have a 8-month-old puppy, and he's 100% cane corso, so he's growing in a rapid manner. And as I am getting smaller and leaner, he's getting bigger and stronger. So it's come to a point that I can't control him, and it's not safe for me or him at this point in time. So we had to outsource his midday walk to a dog walker. And we are fortunate enough, like we had to pull from other sides of our finances and our budgets so that we can allocate X amount of money towards the dog getting walked. Or let's say we don't have the time and the energy to go get our groceries. We are a bodybuilding household, so we're both bodybuilders, and we go through food a lot. And meal plans also get changed a lot frequently when you are prepping for a bodybuilding show. You may have 100 grams of rice this week, and next week, no more rice. You get oats or something else. So you need to be able to adapt to that without having to completely go off the rails. So what we do is, so we get our groceries delivered from BJ's. Sometimes you can use Instacart or things like that. That is going to take away that extra energy that you may need physically or mentally, have to take time out and go get groceries, walk around, socialize. Like sometimes you don't have enough energy to even be around people. And so that's something maybe you can look into. So try to look, what are some of the things that you can outsource? What are some of the things that can be delegated? Or ask a family member, like, hey, could you help me with this for the next 2-3 weeks, or this and that? And that may be helpful when it comes to managing the little bit of time that you do have, because as the prep continues, you may need to allocate more and more time into the bodybuilding competition prep. It's not a forever thing. Even if you plan on doing like 3, 4, 5 shows for this specific year, keep in mind your food is not going to be this low all throughout the year. So your energy is going to fluctuate. So if you feel yourself getting to that point of burnout, ask for help and see where you can cut back so that you can pour into yourself this specific point in time. This also takes me to our next point, burnout, right? So one of the things that I did in the past is I would just keep going till I can't anymore. And a lot of times I would get sick, like I would literally have like cold and flu or runny nose or something. It wasn't even like prep fatigue. My body, my immune system was like tired, and it was kind of like, girl, if you're not gonna sit down and chill, we're gonna make sure you do. So you don't want that, right? So what I do now is time management, as well as for like self-care, so that I manage myself. I actually schedule in downtime into my schedule, and I schedule in time with the people I love for the sake of my mental well-being. Because we're taking care of the body, but there's also a person in there. There's a time and place for just being like, you know what, go, I need to keep going. But you need to take care of your mental well-being as well. So what I do is I schedule in like some time, like maybe I like to take a bath. So I would put that on my calendar that, okay, I'm gonna take a bath this Saturday. So I would talk to my fiance and be like, hey, I'm gonna be alone, just like keep the noise down. I'm gonna play some music, light some candles, have that time to myself. Or I would do some foam rolling, right? Because that takes away from my mind of being stressed out. I'll put on some music. Or I like to use these like adult coloring books for distressing, so I'll do that. But I am fortunate enough to be able to do that because my partner is also in this lifestyle and he understands. So we have that teamwork going on. Sometimes it may be difficult for you, you may not be able to, and if that's the case, just communicate with the people in your life, and I'm sure that they would want to help you and to succeed. They may not understand everything you are going through or why you're choosing to put yourself through this amount of like exhaustion and things like that. So explain it to them and make them feel like they are a part of this process. But above all, even if when it comes to like time management, energy management, and reaching this goal, one thing I would say, learn from my mistake, because in 2023, when I did 3 shows, got nationally qualified, did 2 national shows, and end of the year in December, won my IFBB Pro card, won the overall wellness title, I found myself completely like alone. In that process, my relationship was very damaged and I just isolated myself. I found myself lonely. So, no matter what you're going through, always make time for your mental health. Always make time for the people that you love. And now I am doing things differently. I schedule in date nights. It doesn't look the same because I can't eat the way I used to, but maybe we'll go by the water, like have some time just talking and catching up, or maybe we would like sit and watch a show together. That way, the shows, the competitions, and bodybuildings and goals are going to be there year after year, but you don't want to end up prioritizing things that may not fulfill you in the long run. I'm not saying bodybuilding is not going to fulfill you. That's a personal experience. It's different from person to person. I'm just saying while you're chasing after your goal, also be mindful of your mental health and the people that are in your life, because end of the day, I believe that matters. You need to be alive. You need to have the people that love and support you in your life. That way, in the long run, when you are in your deathbed, you are not all lonely. The trophies and the pictures and the medals may make you feel fulfilled, and they are important, but what's in here is also important. So prioritize that. All right, that is my message for you today. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to give this a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, leave a rating, and I'll be back with more episodes soon. Thank you for being here.